Our clubhouse has a couple of interesting guys. After hours, they might be seen sifting through unwanted bins down desolate alleys. Or right out in the open on the streets of Portsmouth. They're pickers extraordinaire with a lot to share. Let's join Adam and Scott along their hilarious adventures in search of treasures others don't want. Welcome to Trash Plunders.
Okay, this is the first episode of Trash Plunders. Got Adam here.
Hey, what's up?
What's happening? So, what do we do Mondays after the clubhouse?
After the clubhouse on Mondays, I was even doing this before I joined the clubhouse, and I do it on the way to the clubhouse, actually.
Preemptive plundering?
Yeah, I go trash picking. Scott and I love trash picking, and
We go trash picking.
we find all kinds of awesome stuff. Sometimes we skunk out, but sometimes we find good stuff. So
I would say there's a little more skunking than actual
there's
succeeding.
more skunking than succeeding, but when you succeed and find that one big thing, it makes the skunking bearable.
Exactly. So, when I was getting into trash picking with you, you kind of made me seem to think there were PS3s everywhere. Just these PlayStation 3s lying in the trash for me to take.
In my defense, I have not found a PS3 yet, probably never will, but you just never know. That's the part of it. It's like you never know what you're going to find. One day it could be, something stupid and kind of pointless, like a piece of paper. It could be anything, or one day it could be a PS3 that someone upgraded to a PS4 and just decided to throw their PS3 out.
But it hasn't been a PS3 yet. Where's my PlayStation?
It's probably
3?
not going to happen.
All right. So, sorry to cut you off.
It's okay. No, it's good.
Okay. Are you mad at me?
No.
Okay.
No.
What is the best thing you found?
Ironically, I found an Xbox once.
Whoa,
So,
that's almost like a PS3.
yeah. I found an Xbox, and I found a leather jacket. Around the corner from my house, this guy was throwing away piles of stuff, and I found so much stuff there. My parents were like, "Stop going around the corner of that guy's house. Stop. That's your last trip." But all those trips, I found a leather jacket with the tag still on it. My cousin looked up the price; it was like $300, and I found cologne new in the package. A kitty scratching post thing for my cat that's like 3.5 feet high.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't even remember how much stuff I got.
Gotta keep the kitty happy.
And he's still usually too fat to get on it, but my new kitty. But my last kitty used it.
Yeah, it's better than scratching on my chairs. Like at my house, my cats just destroy $600 chairs.
My
They
kitty
shred them up.
No, dude, my kitty digs in the carpet, and I go, "Oh, look, kitty, you're digging in the carpet with your little fuzzy paws." And my mom's like, "Stop digging."
Okay, so trash picking can be awesome.
It is.
It can be a really good time. But what about lugging heavy bags of treasures 2 miles to the car?
That's the problem, is like, if you find something insanely heavy and you can't get a ride, you either have to leave it there or drag it. And, yeah, so it depends on what you find. Most of the time I just deal with it and drag it home.
Would you put it in a wagon?
Like, I'll go into stores and be like, "Hey, can I get a bag from you guys to bring this home?" And depending on what it is,
You freeload from stores?
No, they give you bags. Like, if I can go into Starbucks and be like, "Hey, can I get a bag? I found something in the trash."
For the trash
Yeah,
picking items.
if you're straight up with them and the person's nice, they'll give you a bag with handles.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just be like, "Can I have a bag with handles?" She's like, "Yeah, here you go."
What about like a really nice metal bag?
You're not going to get the good bags. But in my defense, though, I do reuse the bags.
Is there such thing as metal bags?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a metal bag?
I'll get back to you if I find one.
Oh, man. So, one story you always talk about, I don't know if we should mention names here, is this one right here.
Oh, the coffee shop story?
Coffee shop story.
I'll call it the coffee shop.
Coffee shop's okay. Okay.
So, this wasn't a trash find at all. I went into a coffee shop, got a coffee that I didn't realize was going to be so strong. The place was packed. So I'm like, forget this. I'm going to walk around. So I'm walking around drinking my coffee. I'm like, oh my God, this is strong. So I'm across the street ready to go to Bull Moose, and the other coffee shop was across the street from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was too lazy to cross the street. So I go into that unnamed coffee shop. I start pouring their cream and sugar into my coffee.
So you were pilfering cream and sugar.
I thought it was free. I just figured cream and sugar. It's not like I'm in the back freeloading stealing beans or anything. It's just cream and sugar. And so I'm pouring it into my coffee. I mix it up. Everything's good to go. So I'm going to walk out the door, and there's a guy standing there with his arms crossed. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I was like, "Yeah, this is gonna happen." So he's like, "Sir, can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?"
Got problem, bro?
And I'm shaking. I can feel my voice shaking. I can feel my body shaking. And he's like, "So, you can't be pouring our sugars and creams into a coffee you didn't buy here." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, man. I thought they were free." He's like, "No, they're not." And so
You should have grabbed a handful of cream or just ran away.
And so I leave with my tail between my legs, and I kind of had to go home and tell my parents because my dad and his friend visit that coffee shop a lot. So I just wanted to cover my butt.
Oh, that's great. That's classic. So, along the same lines as trash picking, I do composting.
Right.
One time you got 2 bags of coffee grounds, of old, used, smelly coffee grounds.
This coffee shop I can mention because this is a good story because they're doing it as a good thing.
Okay, all right.
It was Starbucks. I don't know if all Starbucks do this. It was a one-time thing, but they have huge bags of just used, wet coffee grounds. And they were giving them away. And I'm like, "Can I take some of those for my mom? She does gardening." I'm like, "Hey, can I take one for my friend Scott?" He's like, "Take them all." There was 3 bags. How much do you think those weighed each?
Those are heavy, man.
Give me a guesstimate.
10 plus pounds.
Yeah,
each.
so I took 3 of them, and I went to Bull Moose.
Well, I think all of them were must have been 40 pounds because they were wet too.
They were wet, yeah.
So that's it was 600 pounds.
Pretty much. So I went to Bull Moose and grabbed one of their strong plastic bags, and it survived for a little bit on the way there, and then the handle snapped. So I'm carrying them in my arms, and I'm walking home, and it was horrible. Like I felt like I was about to die. I was not a cold day exactly. This wasn't actually that long ago, and it was bad. Like I got home and it was bad because I just didn't want to bug my parents for a ride over used coffee grounds.
Yeah,
it didn't feel right. And I was giving one to my mom. I was giving one to Scott. He does a lot of gardening, so I figured.
Yeah, I'm a garden appreciator.
But yeah, I will never do that again. I mean, it felt bad. It was bad.
All right, so next time we're going to show up at Starbucks with a dump truck.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to backload a whole bunch of coffee grounds into there and just dump it in my backyard.
No, I know. I mean, they should. I'm surprised they haven't been giving away free used coffee grounds from the beginning. I really am, but I'm not going to take them ever again. I can tell you that.
You need to get some bigger muscles for that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. To run away from the people chasing me in the stores for taking stuff. They'll get my cardio.
So there were some names going back and forth what we should call this. I said trash plunders. You said
Joe and I came up with scam teaks.
We don't scam anybody though. But maybe we could.
We could, I mean.
So if you trash plunder a bunch of stuff and you sell it to people and then go and find those people and take the trash back.
Right, yeah.
That's scam right there.
It kind of is.
So scam teaks.
So yeah, scam teaks. We call it scam teaks. I scam coffee shops out of cream and sugar. So,
are you one of those guys like, this is a prince from Africa and we have this check for $1 million. You just have to sign for it.
No, I would not do that. I would not do that. God,
you don't do that?
No, I would not do that. No. I may cross the line, but I really don't cross the line.
You do like mild scams. You're like a low-level scammer.
I know how to do scams that are legal yet not ethical. They're legal. They're just not politically. What would you call that?
Socially acceptable. Yeah. That's what that is. Okay, so if we are trash plundering, weren't there a couple ladies downtown who yelled at you for trash?
Yeah,
picking?
I got yelled at by a lady I'm not going to say the store, but they were throwing away tons of coffee mugs and all kinds of good stuff. And so she's like, hey, you can't be digging through our trash. And it's like, and then I did it again a couple of weeks or a month later. She yelled at me again, and now that store actually has moved. And I found like probably 7 or 8 coffee mugs in that trash. It's like some really good stuff. So it was kind of worth getting yelled at. And then there was another lady across the street. Now I know not to do the right side of downtown. kind of stick to the left and be a little more careful on the right.
Mm-hmm.
And but she looked at me. I'm digging through her trash, and she comes up and goes. She says it exactly like this. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, and I'm looking at her, and my voice is shaking again. I'm like, oh no. Sometimes they throw away good stuff in the trash. And she looked at me, rolled her eyes, and walked away. And I got out of there.
She didn't get into a fist fight.
No, thankfully it wasn't that. So,
probably would have taken her.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I was pretty freaked out. I was afraid she was like, I don't know what she was going to do. I'm just glad she rolled her eyes and walked away instead of yelling at me.
I don't know why there's a stigma about trash picking. Like, you're taking stuff out of the waste stream.
I think people,
it's
like some people throw it all over the place and then just walk away. I don't do that.
Oh no, I don't either. Like, I'm a responsible trash plunderer.
Do I sometimes throw it on the street when I'm looking through it to get to the bottom? Yes. But do I put it back in the recycling bin or trash can? Yes.
There you go.
I don't just leave it there. So yes, I do make a mess, and the initial mess probably people are like, hey, why is there all these bags on my street?
You're an organized trash picker.
It looks bad, but in the end, I do the right thing that a lot of people don't do, and I put it back in the dang bin.
Yeah, me too. I think we need to change the perception about trash picking.
Right. No, I know. It's like I found this cool pineapple vase a couple of years ago for my mom for her anniversary, and I brought it into Starbucks, and there was this lady in there. I was saying, "Oh, that's a nice vase. Where'd you get it?" And I found it around the corner from the street. And I'm like, "Oh, I found it around the corner. It was totally free." And she's like, "Well, I don't know about that. You might want to go and put that back because you could get arrested." And I'm like, no, it's cool. I found out in a movie a long time ago that it is legal once it's on the street. It is completely legal.
Found out in a fictional movie, right?
It was an Adam Sandler movie.
There you go. That's fact right there.
But so she's like, "You gotta go put that back, or you could get arrested." I'm like, "I know it's cool. Don't worry. I looked into it. You can't. It's legal as long as it's on the street. It's public property." And she's like, "I don't know." And so I'm drinking my coffee, hauling butt drinking my coffee. And I got the heck out of there because this lady was like a loon. So never haven't seen her since, thankfully.
Yikes.
But my mom loved the vase. It was beautiful. It's on my steps. It
was
gorgeous.
Nice score, man.
Which is ironic because I hate pineapple.
Well, the food, but the vases you like. The vases.
I think it was gorgeous.
Yes. So I guess we should probably wrap up this first episode of Trash Plunders.
Okay, I think so.
And tune in to the next episode where we'll kind of talk about our next trip plundering trash.
Yep.
Take care.
Trash Plunders.